Detroit Lions. 6 of their guys are ranking within the top 10 of Pro Bowl votes right now. Now, it's either one or two things, in my opinion. Either they're actually balling and it's getting recognized, or Lions fans just roll hard.
Lions fans roll hard.
Maybe a combination of both.
Combination of both, because it is.
Yeah, it's going 15-2.
It is. Yeah, Chad had him going 15-2, but it is.
Facts.
Lions fans rolling hard. You look at it.
Did you look at the list by chance?
Yeah, Ragnar's 4th for centers.
Well, I was gonna see. No, did you look at it? I want to see if I can guess them.
Okay.
I briefly looked at it. I saw that Deshaun Elliott was in there.
Damn, that was the one I wanted to be.
Deshaun Elliott is 7th for safeties.
Yeah.
Aidan Hutchinson 6th for defensive ends. Kirby 8th in free safeties. Penei Sewell 9th in defensive tackles, and Amon-Ra 10th in wide receivers. This is something that you like to see. Obviously, the Pro Bowl doesn't really matter, but it's good to have these guys who are balling get gratified, get some recognition. I do think it's a lot of the fans voting. That's for sure, but it's awesome to see. You love to see it, and that made me think of a question, because last year in that top 100 poll that the players do, all voted on the players, all judged by the players. They ranked the top 100 players in the NFL. Yeah. There was no Detroit Lions. Do you see any Detroit Lions making their way into the top 100 this year? And if so, who?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, for sure. And then Frank Ragnow. I think he's got to be in there too. And then Penei Sewell. I could see all those guys making it in there. But who's like most likely? Probably, honestly, probably Ragnow. And then St. Brown. I want to say St. Brown because he has the more flashy numbers. Like you're more prone to see him on SportsCenter, and that goes like for the rest of the league too. Like when they turn on the TV, they're watching Amon-Ra St. Brown highlights. But like the guys that have gone up against Frank, gotta know he's a problem.
Yes.
Because I remember before the game, because he was already banged up, Frank Ragnow, which by the way he's been banged up the entire season, and he's still playing phenomenally, like excellent football. But I remember being scared of Jordan Davis. I remember that being a big concern of mine. And then I'm watching the tape.
Frank
is just handling him like he's a normal sized human.
Yes,
that blows my mind. And then after the fact, though, Jordan Davis went on a tear before getting injured, which he's coming back this week. I just heard, but like, so he's a legit guy. I'm talking about in terms of like Jordan Davis and Frank Ragnow.
Frank Ragnow for sure. Yeah, he should be in there. Penei Sewell could even be in there.
I think he'll be in there.
That's the guy who handled Micah Parsons, put him in a phone booth. That's the guy who handled Kayvon Thibodeau, put him in a phone booth. That's the guy who is going to handle Trayvon Walker this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Put him in a phone booth.
I have no doubt in my mind.
It's going to be
that,
bad. But, Penei Sewell is top of the tops at his position in the NFL. The guy is a freak. Amon-Ra, I think Amon-Ra is a top 10 receiver in the NFL. So I believe he deserves it. I think his peers see that too.
Yeah.
I think his peers notice him cutting up dudes. So that's 3 right there that I think have a real good chance of being in there. And then you could throw Jeff Okudah in there.
Top 100?
You could throw, could he be in there? Could he do that? The way he's playing, I'm not saying he's going to make it, but I'm saying Lions players that could be in the conversation, Jeff Okudah's in there because he is a player that has been emerging this year. He is a player who's been playing very well, making a lot of great plays. So I don't think he'll be in there, but it is a player you could have a conversation about. And then what about Jamal Williams?
For the Pro Bowl?
For the Pro Bowl or the top 100. Is a guy that if you lead the league in touchdowns,
I feel like a lot of his touchdowns, though, were being real
vultures. Yeah. But still, man, 13 of them.
Ultimate, he's a vulture.
As easy, if it's that easy, why do not easy? Shout out, it's easy, baby. If it's that easy to get those touchdowns, why don't other players have those stats?
Easy.
If he breaks,
where'd that come
easy. From? I said if it's that easy, easy. If he breaks Barry Sanders' single season touchdown record for Detroit Lions,
that's impressive.
That's impressive. That deserves some recognition. If he goes for 1,000 yards and 17 touctouchdowns,
I'm all about context. Context.
I understand. I get it. Yeah. And I'm not saying
you got an argument.
Jamal Williams, top 100, playing the flag, but out of Lions players to have the conversation, he should be considered.
You know what actually makes me believe that a lot of this whole situation with the Detroit Lions, 6 of them in the top 10 of the Pro Bowl, if you guys are just tuning in, hit the like button on WoodwardSports.com. But what makes me feel like a lot of it's fanfare is Deshaun Elliott being in here. Because I've been a big fan of Deshaun Elliott, what he's provided to this team. I think he's got the hit stick for sure. He's not that big of a guy, but he has 2 passes defended, 1 interception, and he's been around all year, despite going out a couple times in and out. But there's no way national guys or people I couldn't name you half the safeties on other teams. They weren't studs. how the hell are people like knowing or witnessing Deshaun Elliott and like
it's fan voting, bro.
it's definitely fan voting.
It's the
Lions fans
posted,
roll heavy. I
the
guess.
Lions posted the link in their Instagram story.
Yeah.
They're like, I went to vote for it. I filled it out, and then it was like, you have to log in. I was like,
Yeah, I'm the same way. Don't let me log into your
I'm not
shit.
making any
So you can
account.
send me these shitty emails.
Yeah.
I sign up for stuff I don't care about that you remind me about every single week. Yeah, no, I'm good on that. Sorry. You're not getting my pro vote. The players should vote, though.
So you
Can they
think?
get the vote?
Yeah, the players.
Yeah.
I don't know if the players can vote. I'm sure they can.
They should.
I mean, you can just make a burner account.
Yeah. That was the most surprising one for me, that was Deshaun Elliott.
Do you think
Aiden's a
top
little bit surprising,
100?
too.
Screw the Pro Bowl. Don't
Okay.
care about the Pro Bowl.
All right.
Top 100 is what I care about.
Okay.
Because that is your peers.
Your
That is the
peers.
players in the NFL saying you are one of the best 100 players in the National Football League.
Okay.
And the Detroit Lions didn't have any. You think that is legitimate that those three guys in Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, and Amon-Ra St. Brown should be on that list? Because I do.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, the two that I would set in stone for sure, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown and Frank Ragnow.
Yeah.
'Cause the other thing, too, about Amon-Ra St. Brown, which I think gets him respect around the league, it's kind of the same with Cooper Kupp. You're kind of like forced to respect these guys and how good they are and how cerebral they are at the games because, like, we're being real about it. Both Cooper Kupp and Amon-Ra St. Brown, they're not the most athletic specimens on the field. You know what I'm saying? But for them to consistently whoop your ass like that,
Always open.
always double-digit receptions. I think Amon-Ra right now, after missing 2 games, I mean,
Amon-Ra's like 7-11.
technically missed 1 game, but the other one was like he got pulled out with a concussion. But still, top 10 in receptions. I think it's like 15th or something like that in yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown 100% is a top 100 player in my opinion. And not only does he, because the other thing is voted by your peers, right? And not only does he have the statistics to go for it, along with the catching the football, he's one of the best blocking receivers outside of Calvin Johnson that I've ever seen in a Detroit Lions uniform my
for
entire
sure.
life. Like, hands down.
For sure.
And not that I've always, grown up looking at receivers blocking, but you notice it with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Even when I'm not trying to notice it, I like catch it like, damn, like, I don't see any receivers ever blocking like that. And that's one trait I hope that J-Mo picks up from him because, like, he's going to need that to get on the
Throw
field
some
quite
blocks.
clearly.
Yeah, definitely.
DJ Chark kind of good at it too, but yeah, St. Brown.
Cliff
and then
Raymond's a good blocker too.
even over. So I'm gonna have you rank these 3 that we're talking about too, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go probably Frank 1, but Frank for sure 2, and then Penei 3.
I'd go Penei 1.
Penei 1.
Penei 1. I'd go Penei Sewell 1. You got to think. You got to look at what this guy's been doing his first 2 years. These edge
but
rushers
the
that he's
other
gone up
guys.
against.
Frank's been a dog all year.
His
and he's
first
hurt.
game in his career, the guy handled Nick Bosa at the wrong position. Well, technically it's the right position, but not the position he's playing now. Handled Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
This year alone, like I said, Micah Parsons, Kayvon Thibodeau, that Eagles defensive line that just keeps throwing guys at you. They're keeping Jared Goff upright. And a lot of that is because of Penei Sewell. I don't want to say center is an easier position because it's not. But when you're right tackle, you're out there on an island most of the time. Yeah, you might have a chip block from the tight end, but you're going up against the best pass rushers outside of Aaron Donald as a tackle. And you're normally out there one-on-ones. And Penei Sewell is handling guys. I go Penei, Amon-Ra, Frank.
I think you got it. How many times this year have we stopped ourselves and said, like, oh, these defensive tackles look pretty scary?
Yeah.
And as well as, like, Frank Ragnow, back in the injury report, it's Frank 1, hands down. He's been doing it for the longest, too. Like, and one thing I ask you, too.
It's not about longevity.
I hate.
It's not a career award.
Well, I'm just
it's
letting
what
you know
you did
it's
that
the real
year.
deal. Because you brought up Nick Bosa from last year.
Yeah.
So why can't I bring up Frank's?
Yeah, but you say he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, it's his entire career. That's why he's one of the highest paid centers in the league. But on top of that, too, and this is one thing I hate about ranking, like, guys on the Detroit pro teams. Like, in order to, like, make a point, you almost have to, like, kind of poo-poo on another guy. I'm not like, necessarily trying to do that because, as we said, all 3 of these guys, in our opinion, belong in the top 100 when it comes down to at the end of the year. But Frank Ragnow, or I'm sorry, Penei Sewell, when you think about, like, a lot of the penalties that this team's had on the offense side of the ball, if we're keeping it a buck, it's been Penei. He had the false start in the Thanksgiving game. He had the 2 false starts in that Miami game.
Yeah.
And like that stuff. I mean, if I'm ranking them, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I
don't care
Frank's
about
my
false
1.
starts.
Amon-Ra's probably my 2. But no, you cover lines too. How are you ranking these fellas?
I'd probably go Frank 1, Amon-Ra 2, Penei 3. And
Yeah.
the only reason with Penei is the penalty thing. And I mean, he's still young. He's what, second
If you're
year?
not letting
Yeah.
the quarterback get sacked, you can have as many false starts as you want.
Go ahead, Noah. Finish your point.
I agree with that though, but it still does hurt the team, and I mean he has to deal with a lot more athletic players coming off the edge than dealing with those guys in the middle, but I mean, he'll figure it out. Maybe next year he'll take those penalty counts down.
Yeah. And I got to be like, Penny is going to be a stud. He already is a stud.
He is a stud.
As we're speaking like right now.
Ain't no gonna be. He is
But I
a
think
stud.
he's for certainly better as a run blocker than he is a pass blocker right now too. And he even tell you himself, I think I heard in a couple past interviews, that he's still like grown as a pass blocker in this league.
If he's still growing as a pass blocker and what he did to the premier edge rusher in the league in Micah Parsons, sounds good to me.
Don't forget Micah Parsons got a strip sack on Jared Goff towards the end of that game too.
Yeah.
But we have our 3 names that we put in there in the top 100. Is there any we're missing? That's for sure, like in the conversation of top 100.
I mean, maybe Jeff Okuda, but the thing is, I mean, with him going down, with that 1 week, does he have enough with you even just missing that a little bit of time?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see Hutch possibly if he like continues to.
I mean,
people look at the numbers and they're like, yeah, he was kind of tough to play
34th in sacks, number 1 in interceptions at the defensive end position.
With the Kuda, it sucks because
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was wild. But with the Kuda, it sucks because that matchup against the Bills would have been like an excellent showcase to be like, I belong in the top 100. So that's what's disappointing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted Jerry Jacobs, even if Okuda played, I wanted Jerry Jacobs on Diggs, just because he's more compact. I feel like he's faster than Okuda, even though actually Kuda's damn fast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't lie. Kuda's actually probably the fastest DB we have. I think Jerry's underrated. That's why when I saw the news today, he's coming back, and Okuda's coming back. Like, this could be the fan in me, but like this defense is looking better and better every single week.
They're beating the Jaguars. I'm playing the flag.
Dangerous, man.
I'm playing the flag. I don't care. At home,
I'm with
defense
you,
is coming back together.
Yeah.
Especially if Jameson plays.
Jonah's back.
Jonah's back.
ETN just got banged up last
Hefe's
week.
back. Yeah, ETN's not going to be 100%. They're beating the Jaguars.
Trevor's coming off the game of his life, though. They're coming off of, like, their New York Giants game, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
So
the game that they're, like, collecting themselves together. Well, no, I'm just letting you know it's going to be a battle. I'm not
hanging
like,
with the Bills like that is more impressive to me than what they did to the Giants.
No, but I'm talking about the Jaguars themselves.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they had their, like, damn, we just beat the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I think, was that one on the road?
I just think the Lions.
That one was home for sure.
I would say the Lions mentally are in a better place because of the winning streak they went on, of the way they dominated the Giants, and they're like, damn, we just hung with the Bills to a walk-off field goal. Who are the Jags? Obviously not like that. They're not going to look over this team, but they should go out there and they should be able to dominate.